How's it going, you guys? AZ Plow 21 back again with another episode of our UFC save in WMMA 5, and here today we have UFC Fight Night McDonald versus MORAES, a bantamweight main event tonight between Michael McDonald and Marlon Moraes. Also got the Irish Dragon Paul Felder on there, Jack Swagger, Jake Hager making an appearance here tonight, Caitlin Chukagian, Jillian Robertson, Costello Vancinas, amongst a lot more. Should be a good one. We are making our way towards UFC 286. Jones versus Cuchalaba, 2 title fights on that one. Montana De La Rosa defending against Valerie Loretta, and John Jones defending the light heavyweight championship against Ion Cuchalaba. Pretty good card as well. As you can see, the rest of it right there should be a good one. The next card that we're going to have is UFC Fight Night McKee versus Lingo, a featherweight main event in that one between very good prospects in AJ McKee and Austin Lingo. That should be a good one. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. As always, I'm AZ Plow 21. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. All the links are going to be down in the description below. Let's go ahead and get this one started. Liam, I see you. How are you doing? Taking place in Connecticut as we get this one started, of course, with our prelims. In the flyweight division, it's Rohario Bontornin taking on Ronnie Sade, or Sade, not sure how you say it exactly. Bontornin is 18-6, Ronnie Sade is 15-2, and Sade knocks out Bontornin to now move to 4-0 in his UFC career. You have to wonder if he's going to be ranked when we update the rankings after this card. Good job for Ronnie Sade. Gokhan Saki taking on Corey Hendricks in the light heavyweight division. Saki 3-5, not having the best time in the UFC. I do believe he's probably getting cut after this. I'm not 100% sure. Corey Hendricks, and that's assuming he loses. Corey Hendricks not having a good time as well. Hendricks is a big favorite, and Hendricks does TKO Gokhan Saki. So I might send Saki down to WEC or just cut him outright because he's 39 years old too. He's pretty old. Not exactly worth keeping him down in WEC. Tanner Boser, look at those nipples, taking on Alexander Emelianenko in the heavyweight division. In real life, Tanner Boser is doing pretty good for himself. Here has a tall task ahead of him in Alexander Emelianenko. And Emelianenko wins via TKO as I take a sip of my cheer wine. Pretty good. In the second round, so good for Emelianenko. He's now 31-9-1. And he's 40 years old, so does not have a lot of time ahead of him. Staying with the heavyweights, Valentin Moldavsky taking on Smilinho Rama. Rama usually does very good, but he's been doing terribly. He's 0-2-1 since arriving to the UFC, so he might get sent down to WEC if he can't pick up a win against Moldavsky, but he knocks him out in the first round, so congratulations to Smilinho Rama. Able to stay in the UFC for a little bit longer. Ben Sasoli taking on Lukas Brzezki. He's obviously Polish. You can see they're 10-3-1, making his UFC debut here today against Ben Sasoli, who's 3-2-1 in the UFC, last coming off a loss to Jake Hager. And it's Brzezki in a fantastic fight, winning via submission, interestingly enough, despite the fact that he's a kickboxer. You love to see it. Very interesting way to win as we move on ahead. More heavyweights going at it. Alexander Gladkov taking on Salimgaray Rasulov. Rasulov 22-7. Gladkov 13-2-1. A pair of Russians going at it as Alexander Gladkov gets the win via TKO at age 37, getting a big win in his UFC debut as well. Celebrates his UFC debut victory. You love to see it. Carlos Felipe taking on Jared Vanderaa. Vanderaa making his UFC debut here today after some time in ONE Championship. And Felipe 2-2 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Jairus Danho. And Carlos Felipe gets a win via submission, improves to 3-2. Mika Favale taking on Marcelo Golm in the heavyweight division. Favale 11-4, Golm 11-3, and Marcelo Golm gets the win via unanimous decision, improves to 2-3 now in the UFC after a big winning streak outside of the company. Congratulations to him. Moving on, I believe this is the first main card fight. No, it's actually still on the prelims. Sarah Cheesecake Morris taking on Pani Kianzad in the bantamweight division. Morris is a huge favorite, despite being 10-9. Kianzad, 5-5 in the UFC, as average as you can be, honestly. You can see there, she's lost 2 out of her last 3. Chiasson Macedo, but then beat Gina Mazzani. Takes on Sarah Morris, 6-9 in the UFC. She's lost 3 out of her last 4. Chiasson Magnakina and Norma Dumont. Beat Kana Watanabe in the middle of all that. And Pani Kianzad gets the win via split decision over Sarah Morris. Not sure what we're going to do because she's going to be 10-10. That's not a very good record. She will have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, yeah, 10 times in the UFC. So we might send her down to Invicta just cuz, even though, you know, she might be ranked, you know. We still might send her down just because. Sade Nurmagomedov taking on James Gallagher in the bantamweight division. UFC debut for James Gallagher after some good times in Bellator. Nurmagomedov 4-4, coming on 2 straight losses, Cody Garbrandt and Brad Katona. And in the feature prelim, Nurmagomedov welcomes James Gallagher by beating him in round number 3 via TKO. Good for him. Love to see it as we move on to our main card. And it's Katlyn Chookagian taking on Jillian Robertson in the flyweight division. Chookagian 18-6, Robertson 11-6, and it's Jillian Robertson beating Katlyn Chookagian via unanimous decision, improving to 12-6, and she's now on a 2-fight winning streak, and getting a little bit of revenge on her for beating her back in March of this very year. Good for Jillian Robertson. We move on. Khalid Murtazaliev taking on Costello Vanstinas. A little bit of a fall from grace for Vanstinas, who I believe 2 fights ago was in a main event. Yes, Lovato Jr. versus Vanstinas. That probably would have gotten him close to a title shot, I believe. He's been in 2 straight main events, as a matter of fact, losing to Lyoto Machida back in June. But before that, Jotko, Rockhold, Ahmed, like, pretty good winning streak for him before all of this. Faces Khalid Murtazaliev, number 16 in the division, 4-1-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Kelvin Gastelum. And it is Costello Vanstinas getting back into things with a knockout victory over Murtazaliev. So good for the Londoner getting back into the win column. Tom Aspinall taking on Marcin Shabura. In the heavyweight division, Shabura is 21-9, and he's a huge favorite over Tom Aspinall, 11-3, 2-1 in the UFC. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of an upset here, and we do. Look at that. Split decision victory for Tom Aspinall against Shabura, who I believe is ranked. Yeah, he's ranked. So good for Aspinall. Maybe ranked after this performance here today. You love to see that. Jake Hager taking on Anderson Braddock Silva, the Rob Smith. How's it going? Jake Hager, of course, Jack Swagger in the WWE. Now he's in AEW. I think he might still be in AEW. I'm not 100% sure. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, including his UFC debut against Ben Sasoli. Overall, he's 5-2-1. Not a lot of time left, so I doubt he's really going to push forward. But he's the betting underdog today against Anderson Braddock Silva, 8-3, also making his UFC debut after a 5-fight winning streak in PFL. So a couple old guys going at it, and it's Jake Hager winning via unanimous decision. So improving to 6-2-1. And that's 2 wins in the UFC and a very good winning streak as well. He's now on a 4-fight winning streak. I mean, you never know. He's also mid-level national, so the game might favor that a little bit more than a winning streak. So he might end up actually being ranked after a performance like that, especially considering how popular he is. Cheerwine, very good. The Irish Dragon, Paul Felder, taking on Rustam Khabilov in the UFC lightweight division. Should be a pretty good one. 28-1 is Paul Felder. Rustam Khabilov is 28-7. 2 ranked guys in the lightweight division, and it's Paul Felder. Less than a minute is what it took for him to get rid of Khabilov. You can see there, number 14 in the lightweight division before this, coming off wins now over Michael Johnson and Rustam Khabilov, the Irish Dragon, Paul Felder. Brings us to our main event of the evening, Michael Mayday McDonald versus Marlon Moraes in the bantamweight division. Former bantamweight champion, Marlon Moraes. As you can see, lost to Henry Cejudo, beat Jose Aldo, beat Corey Sandhagen, beat Henry Cejudo for the title, immediately lost it to Piotr Jan. Looks like he took an 8-month layoff against TJ Dillashaw, ended up beating Dillashaw, and then lost to Corey Sandhagen back in April, got submitted. So now here we are in November, good 7 months later, and he's in the main event against Michael Mayday McDonald, number 6 in the division. Look at that, on an absolute tear. Ever since his Bellator days, he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight winning streak, including all 6, I believe, of his fights in the UFC that he's been in. And picking up right where he left off, Kyung Ho Kang, Brett Johns, Jonathan Martinez, So Chul Kim, Cody Stamann, and then Ronnie Yaya. He's now number 6, facing off with the former champion in Marlon Moraes. It's our main event. Let's go and get it started. McDonald, 2 inches taller. Not sure if it's going to have that big of an advantage for him. Very interesting considering they're both kind of strikers, you know. It says McDonald has jiu-jitsu as, you know, kind of one of his things, but you never really can tell. I was at that fight when Marlon Moraes beat Jose Aldo, and I thought he won. You know, everyone was booing just because everyone loves Jose Aldo, but he won, you know. And it sucks that he had to get knocked out like that against Corey Sandhagen, but it is what it is. Quick head kick, McDonald backs off. Ooh, looked like McDonald might have nearly won the fight there as round 1 comes to an end. And apparently Moraes came out on the scorecard. Unless that was Moraes that got him with that head kick. I'm very excited. As I'm recording this, I am like 4 days away from leaving for Jacksonville for UFC 261. I'm super stoked. Going to Florida, a little bit of a vacation. Very excited. Not excited how expensive everything was, but you know, it'll be worth it just to get out of the state and have a little bit of fun and be able to watch some UFC live for the first time in forever. Literally, last March was was Adesanya versus Romero. That was the last fight that they had live, like here in the United States, with like a large amount of fans. And I was there. So, McDonald hits a wicked right uppercut. Moraes is knocked down, raining down punches. It looks like this is going to be over. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner via TKO in round number 2, Michael Mayday McDonald, getting a big win over the former champion in Marlon Moraes. Love to see it. Our main event over in Connecticut. Let's see what our fight of the night is going to be. I know we had a fantastic fight on the prelims, so let's go check that out. Yep, right here. Brzezki and Sasoli, congratulations. TKO victory for Paul Felder. That's a performance bonus. Yeah, 9 in a row. That's incredible. I feel like if some stuff goes wrong, because let's see. Who do we have as the bantamweight contender? We have the unification going on. That's right, because we just had a interim title fight. So once that unification happens, maybe Michael McDonald after that. We'll have to see once we update the rankings. Paul Felder gets a performance bonus. Any first round finishes. Carlos Felipe, TKO Corey Hendricks. Knockout first round for Smilinho Rama. We'll give him performance bonus as well. Going ahead, nice $1 million profit on that card as we move forward. We're going to update our rankings, take a look at our emails, and then go ahead and sign off for this episode. As always, I appreciate you guys, but yeah, I'm super stoked for this weekend. Going to Jacksonville this Friday, pick up my my rental car, head over to our hotel, and then just chillax probably for that night because the very next day is the pay-per-view. So, yeah. And then after the pay-per-view, I think on Sunday, we have a hockey game that we're going to go to. But other than that, just chill in the city of Jacksonville, see what it has to offer. Maybe hit up the beach if it's nice and warm. Not 100% sure, but either way, it should be a good time. I'm excited. And then the very next month, me and my girlfriend are doing the exact same thing. I'm going with my buddy Jake this weekend, but next month with my girlfriend, we're going to Houston to go to UFC 262. That's the one with Chandler and Oliveira as the main event. Nate Diaz fighting Leon Edwards. That should be pretty fun. But yeah, very busy month for me, and I'm stoked. I'm happy about it. But yeah, a lot of crazy things though going on in MMA. A lot of crazy things going on in combat sports. I don't know if you guys watched or paid attention on Saturday, but Ben Askren got knocked out by Jake Paul. I watched that live, not in person, but I watched it live. I didn't. Let me stop there. I watched it. I watched it. Sucks, you know. Ben Askren, he's funny. I like Ben Askren, so not always ideal to watch a guy you like that get knocked out, especially by such a douchey kid like Jake Paul. But more power to him. He's obviously, you know, putting a lot of effort into it, so you can definitely tell by the way he knocked out Ben Askren. All right, let's go up. Yeah, very shocked at how quick it was. I figured it would have at least lasted a couple rounds or something, but no, just bum rushed him, caught him with a good right hand, and Askren got up, but he was definitely wobbly. But who's not wobbly when you get knocked down like that, you know? Like, he presented his gloves. He said he was ready, so you'd figure they'd just let him keep going, but the little shenanigans on the part of Triller. They probably wanted Jake Paul to win, so the referee probably knew that, you know, and was like, oh, he got knocked down, I'm just going to say, oh, he can't continue. That's what I think, at least, but they all want to make more money, and Jake Paul was obviously going to fight even after this, so it is what it is. We need to update our rankings. At heavyweight, Shabura moves down, but we have no Tom Aspinall after beating him. At light heavyweight, no movement. Middleweight, Van Steenis back up to number 11. Murtazaliev down to 22nd. Nothing at welterweight. At lightweight, Paul Felder up to number 11. And Kabalov down to number 20. Nothing at featherweight. At bantamweight, Michael McDonald moves up to number 4. That's right. Okay, Dominic Cruz is fighting Ray Borg. And whoever wins that fight, I believe, is getting the title shot next. Yes. So the winner between Cruz and Borg gets a title shot next. But that sets up a nice fight for McDonald. Possibly against Piotr Jan, maybe? Or Ricky Simon. Somebody else in the top 10. He's definitely going to stay busy. But he's on such a good winning streak that one more win is probably good enough. But Sandhagen is going to fight Wood next to unify the bantamweight title. Moraes moves down to number 9. Nurmagomedov moves up 1 spot after getting a win. Bontornin moves down, but the guy that beat him doesn't get ranked. I do not like that. It is what it is. Women's bantamweight, Sarah Morris moves down. Kianzad moves up 1 spot. That makes no sense, but oh well. We're also going to move Sarah Morris down to Invicta, so we might as well just do that now. Sarah Cheesecake Morris, yeah, she's lost 4 of her last 5. So, yeah, sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. Okay, go back to women's bantamweight. Macedo moves down. Kianzad moves up 1 spot. Congrats. Flyweight, Jillian Robertson stays at number 2. Chukagian stays where she is at number 7. That seems about fair. I imagine Jillian Robertson is probably going to fight Agapova next. 2 months, that's a little much too much time. Agapova just beat Molly McCann. She's next. She's fighting for the title. So Robertson's going to have to fight somebody else in the top 10. Because she's on 2 straight wins, right? She is. But she's going to be back in 2 months. That's too much time for Agapova to wait. So yeah. Agapova is just next in line. Dern is fighting Andrea Lee. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, cool. And then at strawweight, nothing going on. All right, let's look at our emails, and then we can go ahead and sign off for this episode. Marlon Moraes needs to be renewed. Of course, we're going to renew him. Keeping him around top 10. We're still going to keep him around. Gokhan Saki lost. 3-fight losing streak. I mean, he's of no use to us. He's of no use to us. And not even in WBC, honestly. Carlos Felipe, he's coming off a win. We'll keep him. Love to see it. Costello Van Steenis, of course, we're going to keep him now in the top 12. Rama is coming off a win. So we'll keep him around at least for 2 more fights. If he loses those, we can always just send him down to WBC. Ronnie Sade, not ranked, but definitely keeping him around. Get him back in there. Valentin Moldavsky, 1-1, but we'll keep him around for sure. Congratulations, sir. Tom Aspinall coming off of impressive win. probably a little bit of an upset, but we're keeping him. Ooh, someone got injured. Oh, no. Sergey Pavlovich got injured. Ooh, and that's the fight against Gustafsson. Okay, we're gonna have to find someone else to fight Gustafsson right now. That looks like it's about it. Okay, so we got to find someone to fight Gustafsson. We'll do that really quickly on the McGregor card. So there's still some time. Gustafsson at heavyweight. Let's see. Someone who's coming off a winning streak, or at least a win. Steve Mowry. Ooh. 1-2. No, he's coming off a win, but Steve Mowry, 30 years old, and the betting line is close. That's a very interesting. Very interesting. He said, yeah, we're in full camp. All right, let's do it. Steve Mowry, it says it would be a decent main event. Strong main event. So we're going to leave it there. So, hey, good luck, Steve Mowry. A big fight against Alexander Gustafsson. We'll see if he can come out on top. It'd be a big win for him. That's going to do it for this episode. The next time I see you guys will be for UFC Fight Night McKee versus Lingo. AJ McKee and Austin Lingo in our featherweight main event. Also got Valentina and Paige Van Zant on that card. Should be pretty cool. I'll see you guys later. I'm AZPlow21. Have a good one.